in terms of wrestling in the past, right, the wrestling that we grew up on, if you called someone a fat ass or a lard ass or something like that, back then you wouldn't have battered an eyelid, right?
But now, like, everyone's offended by everything.
I think the fact that in this day and age, in 2026, when everything is watered down and everything's a bit snowflakey, the fact that Kevin Owens has drawn him out into basically fat shaming him, I think that shows that Punk was rattled. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Chair Shot Wrestling Podcast. I am Steve O'Mac. I'm here with Deano the Truth. We are back at Moonlight Studios.
Representing.
Ready to bring you all the latest.
Of course we are.
In the pro wrestling business.
Well, I've got to ask you, what is crack-a-lacking so far?
Well, Deano, I'm tired. It's a long day yesterday and a long day today, but I have managed to fit in. I've done my homework. I have managed to fit in a watch of Monday Night Raw.
It was a good Monday Night Raw, wasn't it?
I must admit, I had to skip through a little bit, and I hold my hands up. You said to me, watch the Rey Mysterio versus Chad Gable match. It's a corker. I didn't have time to. I wanted to, as soon as you said that, I want to watch this match properly. I don't want to be skipping through to the end. So I haven't had a chance to watch that one, but I am going to watch that one tomorrow.
Well, you fucking better,
after work with an ice cold beer and enjoy that one.
But Steve, before we get to all this, can I just remind the guys, we appreciate your support and hit that like and subscribe button. But also we understand if you ain't got time to watch us properly, you can listen to us on Apple Music, Amazon Music, Audible, Spotify. That's it, yeah.
Wherever you can find a podcast.
Wherever you can find your podcast needs.
Us now, man.
We're there. We're
there.
We're getting business cards and everything. Wow. We're coming up in the world.
Yeah. We had this idea. We're going to get the business cards. We're going to scatter them around. So anyone that's going to the AEW Dynamite in Scotland next week, if you see a Chair Shot Wrestling Podcast card, just scattered about. Don't try and point out to the person next to you. Sort of, you say, "Have you listened to these fellas?"
Okay, we'll be back. No, what it's like. It's like almost like when you go to London, they advertise the strip clubs like that. Well, it's not a strip club. But we know naked ladies, unfortunately, but just two handsome geezers talking about wrestling.
I'm sort of almost a bit gutted, mate, that people don't use phone boxes anymore. We could go pinning them around in the phone boxes. We've lost that opportunity, haven't we?
Pricing ourselves out. I love it.
I know. Can't hit the phone boxes.
No.
I mean, there are still a few red ones that do exist in London.
Yeah.
As I found out on Sunday. It's just still
maybe let's find them.
Swarms and swarms of tourists still take photos of red phone boxes. It still cracks me up every time I see it.
Yeah.
Being a London boy, I just think, what's the fuss about? Bloody red phone box, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they love it. Anyway, we digress. Deano. We got to get into it. We're going to start with AEW this week because I feel like there's not loads of depth that we've got to go into with it. Last week's Dynamite felt like a little bit of a sort of a filler show. It felt like one of them where they just needed to get a few matches in. They obviously loaded it with the matches for the Continental Cup because they had to get through that first round, and this week is going to be stacked with the quarterfinal matches because we know the semi-finals is going to be the following week in Glasgow.
Yeah, cool.
So, a little bit limited on the storyline advances, especially I would say in terms of Ospreay and Kenny, because they only had one sort of altercation, didn't they? Ospreay is still having a bit of a feud with the Don Callis family. Don looked good again, though, didn't he?
Don Perignon always looks good, doesn't he?
He came down and he draws so well upon now. I find the stuff that's happened in the past. Again, like last week we was talking about AEW. They've got to a stage now where they've got history that they can draw upon in their storylines.
Yeah.
And it really feels like Don's the one that's going, I've been involved with all of these guys. So whenever I'm out and whenever something's going on, I can kind of say, well, listen, I brought you in, Ospreay. I was the one that brought you in from Japan to face Jericho at Wembley the first time round, and then I decided I didn't need you anymore. And I've done the same with Kenny. I was the one that, Kenny was only champion because of me. So I like the fact he's got this connection with everyone, and he just feels
it's
like
all about the nostalgia, isn't it? You got to appreciate that,
He just feels like the one that's been around for a while now. So Kenny's got no love lost for Don, and I can't see, as much as I think it would be interesting, I can't see a Kenny Don reuniting at any time soon. I can't see Kenny.
I was for a short period. I was thinking maybe like, there's like a fucking thing. It'd be a shocker. Like, fucking hell, is Don Callis going to realign with Kenny again? Like, but yeah, he come out, didn't he? Kenny comes out with a fucking iron bar, doesn't he? Like that, he just fucks everyone up. But then like, Ospreay don't look happy that he's received his help, does he? Even though,
I thought Kenny came across really well because he came in and he, like I say, he helped him out, but then he soon sort of got down to it, that kind of thing of, Phil, this is the last time that I am helping you out. You keep getting yourself in trouble. I'm not helping you out anymore because now my focus is on Wembley and keeping hold of this belt.
Do you know what's crazy though? I felt about that, isn't it? It's like, the storyline where it's like they fucking, Kenny done the turn on Ospreay a few weeks ago at Redemption. It was like, now Kenny's obviously the clear-cut heel. And then he comes out and he saves Will Ospreay. And I think, well, now, I don't know, is he like, everyone was chanting Kenny, 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 weren't they? I know, like, scary.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether it's because maybe they're still trying to sort of take this match as being a baby face and a baby face. Like, one's slightly more heelish than the other one.
Yeah.
But then also, on the flip side of that, you can say, well, look, Ospreay was riding with the Death Riders only last month. So he's like a bit of a tweener as well, isn't he?
That's what I'm saying. It's just a bit confusing.
They've both got an edge, haven't they? I think the point is that over the last few weeks, if Ospreay was in trouble like he was, at that point on Dynamite, it would have been the Death Riders that came down and just stood with him. Now he's burnt his bridges with the Death Riders, it would seem. It was like Kenny was his only hope. And again, maybe it's this thing of Kenny kind of going, look, I don't want no excuses from you at Wembley. I think that's it always. Yeah. If you've got two baby faces, it's an easy story to tell when it is like, well, I sort of want you at your best, Will, because I don't want no excuses afterwards. After I beat you, I don't want you crying about like, oh, you was injured or the Don Callis family attacked you. It's easy to kind of go down that route and that ties it in. I got gut feeling something is going to happen. It's either going to be this week or it's going to be on Glasgow. There's another big angle to come. Yeah, definitely. Before the match at Wembley, there's definitely another big angle where we're going to go, whoa, okay, that's getting us thinking. They can't, I feel like they can't do what they just did for another 2 weeks.
No, exactly.
There's got to be another big angle. So we look forward to that.
I'm all for it. I'm just saying, it's just a bit bizarre because I know, like, they're obviously, like, I didn't think for a second Kenny was going to get to the point where he's like the heel and, it's like Will Ospreay in his hometown, and he's like, I just felt that was coming. But now there's been that swerve again, isn't there? Like, where it's like, now he's like, well, no, he is a good guy as well. So that's what I meant by that.
I think what they've done pretty well with this is that for a long time it was Mox talking to him, wasn't it, about not hesitating and making sure he's ready to pull the trigger. And Ospreay sort of saying, yeah, I'm ready. But actually he wasn't ready. No. He wasn't ready to pull the trigger on Kenny until Kenny turned on him. So that's where I think they've flipped that. So now we know that if Will has to do something to put Kenny down, he's probably got the fuel now. Do you know what I mean? He's got the fuel to do that because he knows that if he don't, hopefully he would have learnt his lesson.
Yeah.
With the Kenny turn. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel that
I don't know how to call it.
Else to come.
I don't know how to call it. I can't wait. I'm so excited for next week because we've got Glasgow and London, but I honestly don't know how to call it. Like, I just think it could go either way. I really just feel like
it could go. I mean, like, if you told that story of Ospreay having to chase that again for another full year.
Yeah, then we get Wembley again next year.
Or even if it was the O2 again, that would still be big, I would say, because the O2 we know would sell out. But I don't know whether I can wait another year for it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe Tony hasn't made up his mind. Maybe Tony's just
I don't know.
Tony's just like holding his cards close to his chest.
Only Tony knows.
Only he knows. He does love Kenny Omega. We know that. But yeah, I feel like the thing to do is to create the superstar now. Create your superstar that should hopefully be an internet sensation. Because look at the highlight reel that Will Ospreay's got in terms of like the video packages you could put together and the story that you could tell about him. It does feel like AEW could create a genuine worldwide superstar. It's a massive risk not doing it. I think they need to do it. Let Ospreay win it.
I think like you're missing the boat, and you. What a monumental moment! Fucking hell! Like, I just want to see the fire spray. I just want it. I want it. You want it. We all want it.
I'm looking forward to the entrance because it's gonna.
I mean, the finish. If he's got a title, imagine under the title, the half spray, like, just be unreal.
Yeah, tickets have been shifting, mate, for Wembley. I keep seeing things pop up on X, saying that they are having like this real late push of tickets, and people are predicting that it could go, depending on how much they do in this next 2 weeks, could be close to about 45,000, which I think that's decent in a World Cup year with all the stuff that's happened. Seen how hard it was for WWE to sell those tickets to SummerSlam. I think if they got 45,000 at Wembley, right? Forget what the haters are saying. Oh, Wembley holds 90,000. It's only going to be half full. It's not set up for 90,000, right? No wrestling event or boxing event is going to be set up for 90,000 because you've got the stage in and you can't. It means there's a certain number of seats behind the stage in where you can't see anything. So it's not set up for that, right? They initially, I think they set it up for about 40,000, and they've actually opened up other sections because the tickets were shifting. So I'd be happy. 45,000, I'd be happy. And it will be 45,000 and it will feel packed.
Yeah.
Because they've squashed everyone into.
No, of course. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, like, as well, what you say with the staging and with the compactness of it.
Yeah. And look, and they could go.
Set up, yeah.
Who knows what the stage is going to let go.
I'm excited about
because he knows that the crowd's going to be slightly less than it was before. He might go massive for the stage. They might create something like proper, like WrestleMania, like with the stage.
I'm excited.
So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do because AEW are not obsessed, are they, with having the big stages? But if you've got an opportunity to do it, right?
What else happened on Dynamite, Steve-O?
Well, so I would say that the main other talking points were you got the Continental Cup. So we had a few decent matches on that. The match that was the main
Perry
event,
one.
Perry and Moxley.
That was a great match.
Very, very
great match. I enjoyed that a lot.
Very good match. He's through, I believe.
I'm
Claudio got through, didn't he?
I'm slowly, because I didn't get him, I'm slowly becoming a little bit of a believer in Jungle Boy Jack Perry. He's not bad. Like
he is decent. I mean, he looks small. I mean, his body shape's never going to change. He's not going to fill out like he's not going to fill out like, say, Carl Fletcher did.
Yeah.
But look, he's Jungle Boy's decent. I mean, I actually thought he was good as a heel. I liked him as a heel.
Yeah.
I liked him initially when he was with Luchasaurus and they did Jurassic Express. But he's consistent.
Yeah.
You put him in there with main eventers and he'll give you a good match, Jack Perry. Yeah, again, I wonder why I always thought about the thing with him and Punk, because it was that argument that started the whole thing. I always just
glass thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, and do you know what? I always felt that he was someone that Punk was threatened by because he was young and because Punk just kind of thought, I can't keep up with these guys.
Well, we'll get back to it, but it's what Kevin Owens said, so I think we'll get to it.
That's a good point.
Well, that's pretty much what he said, wasn't it?
There's a link on that for
I mean, we'll skip it, but like, so Kevin Owens said something this week, and he well, I've got a lot of reliable friends and sources that, seem to have a problem with you, so maybe you're the problem, which pretty much... Yeah. It was very. We'll get to that. But I just had to because I felt it was necessary. I felt the crossover was necessary.
It's a good link. I wasn't going there with it, but it's a good link. I'll take your point. So look, the other major talking point about Dynamite, and nothing's been confirmed, but this has been the stuff that I've been seeing on the internet, and certainly other podcasts that I've listened to have picked up on this. And I immediately picked up on it at the time when I was watching Dynamite. I was actually watching it live last week because I was off work. So I was bored out of my brains, and I thought, do you know what?
It's better.
I don't often watch it live, but I just thought I'm staying up. I'm going to watch it live. So what excited me is Hangman and Deano are now the trios champions. They won the belts off of the Demand, which is Ricochet and Gates of Agony, Bishop Khan and Toa Leone. By the way, mate, fucking strong is that geezer. Did you see that bit where he had, I think at one point he had all three of Brody King, Hangman, Bandido on his shoulders, and he walked forwards. Like, he literally carried all three men and walked to the centre of the ring. If you haven't seen the clip, I'll find it for you.
I must have seen things. I feel like I would have remembered that,
I feel like it might have been on Collision.
Maybe I'll watch Collision after this.
I was like, fucking hell, that geezer's strong. WWE would love to have him.
Yeah.
Because I might be doing him a disservice here. I don't know, but he looks Samoan to me. He could be Samoan, he could be Tongan, but he looks Samoan, and it feels like he's someone that WWE would just go, yeah, we'll have this guy because he's massive and he's strong. But so Hangman and Deano are in the ring, and they're kind of doing a little talk, celebrating their trios championship win. And then Swerve's music hits, and I'm like, bang, forgot all about Swerve. We're all been talking about like what's happened to MJF, and he came back.
Fucking always just like the start of Swerve. Yeah.
I thought, fuck, where does Swerve fit in, right? So straight away, Swerve comes down. He delivered the brilliant promo, right? An amazing promo. It's not always the best Swerve, but I thought this was a great promo because he said, like, he was like, oh, look, looking at you three guys, I can't help but think, like, that I'm the common link here. And he sort of went through it, and he was like, well, Bandido, me and you tore the house down at, what was the one? Double or Nothing, I think it was. We tore the house down at Double or Nothing, but I got the win. That led me on to you, Brody. You came for vengeance, but you couldn't beat me either. And then he kind of moves on to Hangman. Then he was like, well, look,
obviously everyone knows about that,
right? You've got history, but the last time that we met, I think it was me that got the victory, sort of thing. And it was. I just thought, right, where's this going? Because Swerve is on his own, and these are now trios champions. So I'm thinking, why would you start another little feud with him and Hangman?
I know what you're thinking, Steve. I know what you're thinking.
And then I thought, he needs two guys, doesn't he? He needs two guys to help him out. And the penny dropped. And I thought, they're not going to do it on this show, but I think they are going to do it before Wembley now. I don't think this is going to be a Wembley surprise. It could be a Glasgow surprise. But I think the New Day are going to join up with Swerve Strickland, former trio.
And I think it's got to be like a badass version of the New Day. I think they've got to come out like Swerve style. And like Nana, I could see that as a great faction, like Nana being the manager, and like, they're all wearing the black leather and just, and just like fucking cool with the chains. Like badass New Day, like, And I think, and you, I've got to steal this from you, but I thought it was great because you messaged me anyway. No more Xavier Woods. It's got to be Consequences Creed. It's got to be Consequences Creed, but it's better name. It fits more.
I don't think they can use
Kofi. I don't know what name Kofi's got.
Kofi can use the Kofi. I don't think he can use the Kingston.
Yeah.
So he might just be known as Kofi, or I don't know. They'll come up with something. But I actually think that would, as much as the fans, like the casual fan, will want to see the New Day as they recognise the New Day. I think for them, needing to get away from WWE and saying, right, this is a fresh start for us here. We are still going to be like the characters that sort of thing. But we ain't going to dress like the New Day. We ain't going to come out with no trombone and all that business. They haven't got Big E with them. So it does feel like they should drop that gimmick. I don't know whether they keep the names, because it could even be that WWE have got a trademark on the name The New Day.
Yeah.
So they might not be able to use The New Day at all. They might come up with something else. It might be something that means the same thing.
I'm excited to see what happens to that,
something, couldn't it?
It makes a lot of sense.
Guys, perfect opportunity, right? If you can come up with a name,
we want to hear it, guys.
AEW can use for The New Day, put it in the comments. I'd love to hear some. I'd love to hear some examples of some names for the New Day, because I don't think they can use it. But what would be a badass name for them to have with Swerve Strickland? So that was the main excitement for me from Dynamite, was to, number one, to see Swerve back, because I fucking forgot about him. Of
course.
And then the Demand are not sort of out of this picture either. So it could even be some sort of v3v3 match, which, I mean, that would be a bit mental. It feels like they'd have to have some kind of Falls Count Anywhere.
I don't know. Well, but then again, when you've had like what's the match called? Arena thing.
Anarchy in the Arena.
Anarchy in the Arena. I mean, once you do that, you can do anything, can't you? So
yeah.
Why not?
Anarchy in the Arena for the trios titles.
That'd be cool.
Deano. With Drowning Pool.
Yeah. I love
Let
that.
The bodies hit the floor. Hey, mate, if Tony, if you're listening, because we know that you do listen, you need a spot, right? If you're doing any type of Anarchy in the Arena type of match at Wembley.
You fucking listen, Tony, all right?
Can we have that Drowning Pool track on? Because I'm telling you, it will fucking go off.
It will.
At Wembley.
Just from me and Steve, I like.
Trust me.
Me and Steve, the
Brits probably loved that shit more than the Americans loved it.
Yeah.
Right? I can promise you. Let's do it. You got to do it.
Make it happen.
Yeah, okay. So the only other thing that I want to talk about before we move away from the AEW thing, mate, is just with this Continental Cup, Nigel McGuinness. Right? I just want to talk about Nigel McGuinness. Because when he was first thrown into it, I just thought, it's like it's a little nostalgia pop. You know, Nigel doesn't get to wrestle that much. Now I'm actually thinking, do you know what? The story could be that Nigel McGuinness gets through to the final. And it could be like Nigel McGuinness versus Moxley. For that belt. If that happens, though, I'm thinking, they give Nigel McGuinness a moment. They let him beat Mox and win that championship, and then maybe he drops the belt like the following week or something. But
I mean, it would be a great thing, wouldn't it?
Does he get a win over Mox, or does Mox do that thing of, one of you Brits is going to win later on, so fucking two of them ain't winning on the same night, and Mox does that thing.
Well, maybe,
gets you on a bit of a downer. Do you know what I mean? To build it up to the main event.
It works, doesn't it? Either way works.
I mean, it'd be a great match. I can't remember ever seeing John Moxley against Nigel McGuinness.
No,
I think it'd be a first time ever match if that happens. But I feel like that's the way it's going to go. I mean, there's a couple of other little juicy matches. I don't know. Do you know what I forgot to check? I forgot to check whether the draw's been done for the next round.
No, I don't.
I bet it probably has, and I've missed it. But apologies if we're talking shit and you guys have already seen the draw and you know.
Where does the draw happen? Like, is it online?
I think they either do it online or, I don't know. I had this feeling that it would be really good if they actually just did it live on Dynamite right at the start of the show. Right, this is the live draw for the next
that would
round.
make more sense.
And then you have the matches. Some of them actually, so the wrestlers have to be prepared to wrestle, but they don't know who they're going to fight.
That would make more sense.
I'd love to see Moxley and Claudio come up against each other at some point.
Yeah.
Whether that's in the quarterfinal or a semi-final.
That needs to happen.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. I think that would be good. But yeah, look, there's been some good matches already, and I'm looking forward to it because I don't think they can fail to deliver two really good semi-finals.
No, exactly.
For when we're in Glasgow.
Exactly. I mean, fuck me, that's Steve. How excited! I mean, wrestling's coming home, isn't it? It's got to be wrestling's coming home, isn't it? Wrestling's coming home. We've got to start that chant.
The chant going.
We've got to start that chant.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it in Scotland.
Nah. You've already bringing out the Essex flag. I'm already worried about getting stabbed. Like,
I've got it, mate. It's been. I ordered it on Amazon. I've got it. I am taking it up there. Look, I just want to get a little nod. Just a little nod or a little bit of recognition from Ospreay. If he sees an Essex flag in Glasgow, surely we've got to get a little point. Surely. Yeah, I mean, how could you resist?
I appreciate the nod, but I just don't want to get stabbed. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Look, well, Ospreay will jump in and defend us.
Yeah, well, the hidden blade. Yeah. Hopefully, I don't get hit with a hidden blade. That's what I'm worried about.
Look, I've been married to a Scot for enough years, mate. I've put on a very good Scottish accent, so I could just blend in, mate.
It's getting worse. Now you're mocking the Scottish. Now you're going to mock the Scottish. You're a mocker.
Can you do a good Scottish accent?
Oh, you know what I mean? You're a bastard.
I've got to admit. Got a little bit of that look.
My second name's Fair Bear, so it's pretty much a Scottish. It means a wee Scottish baby.
So we could get away with it, even if we could just lose the flag If he
who
starts
pulled that here?
if he starts getting a bit naughty, right, we could just lose the flag and then, and then we're a couple of locals.
Exactly. Get on the tenants.
On the tenants.
Eat the haggis, proper haggis.
You think that's a stereotype, mate? I've fucking seen it. I've seen
I
people
don't.
go in and pick that amongst a number of different lagers that have been on tap and go, yeah, no, I love the tenants.
I like the tenants,
I love the tenants, mate. Fucking
so we get amongst it and drink tenants that night? I don't know.
I reckon we could probably have one or two during the day.
Tenants, yeah.
I'm sure we can find it. Okay, moving on then. Let's move on to SmackDown, and then we'll finish on Raw. SmackDown's getting a bit juicy, mate. I'm liking SmackDown still much more than I'm liking Raw. I'm going to be honest. I think Raw somehow picks out at least one match that's on Raw seems to be the best WWE match of the week. But all of the fucking good stuff is on SmackDown, and it feels like it's loaded, mate, with stars. When you think about it, you go, right, well, hang on a minute. You've now got Punk, Owens, Randy, Cody, Gunther. Who else am I missing? Sami Zayn, Finn Balor.
It is loaded.
But it seems like that is the one that is loaded with top stars.
I'm gonna have to pick a point. I love the Zack Ryder Matt Cardona bit where he come out. He's like, don't talk about. And for me, what we're talking about? We're talking about building these hills. And what better way to build a hills, because not only is like Matt Cardona and Zack Ryder, he's a beloved character. So, you beat up on that geezer enough, it's going to get heat from the crowd. But it's that thing, he's just sticking up for his wife, who wouldn't stick up for their wife, like, who could relate to that, and it's like, that's what it comes down to.
Do you know what? I actually thought that whole angle, that whole promo, I thought was superb.
It was great, wasn't it?
I felt that for the first time, I actually liked Nick Aldis in it. I thought that Chelsea Green was fucking brilliant, and it was a bit like it was a bit of a fuck you. You think I'm one-dimensional? You think that all I've got is this Chelsea Green? I come out and salute, and I'm not being funny.
She's over. She's over. Chelsea
comes
Green
across better than like 95% of the rest of the women's roster to me. I thought that was brilliant. I loved the setup of it. I loved the way that she's got a genuine injury. We all know that if any wrestlers that we've seen that have broken an orbital bone in the past tend to have been out for a little while, and then if it's not too bad, they can get away with a mask. It just Taker did it years ago. Do you remember Taker had that sort of fat
I do,
for a while because he busted his fucking, I think it was like the top of his cheekbone or something.
It just felt like though because
I can never remember whether the Cody Rhodes one started off as a genuine injury.
Yeah, I think it did. And then he had the ugly, he was dashing when and he was like, but it was great. He would go over it, but I just thought the whole pro was great because they played on that thing. They give us that little sort of swerve because you say it so many times. The Finn Balor one off SummerSlam, when Edge done it with the Edge,
Daniel Bryan.
And it's like when they come out and they have to relinquish the title, it's that moment, and you're like, oh, here we go again. And it was a great swerve. Yeah,
I liked it. I liked all this kind of making that, because he plays that character, doesn't he? He's a general manager. He's got to be this corporate guy. He's got to do what the guys in the back want him to do. I like the fact that he said, look, I'm going to give you your 30 days. You've got 30 days to get yourself ready, whatever you need to do to get a defense in on your 30 days. I thought that was the right thing.
It done multiple things, in my opinion. It built up Chelsea Green's character. Yeah. It built up the Halls' character. Yeah. And also, then Gunther comes out, and the big thing, because like we said, we need where the fucking hill's at a couple of episodes ago. It's building these like this brutal hill. It's like, this fucking guy's coming out in this moment, this beautiful moment. And he's done that, and then Zack Ryder comes out, or Zack Matt Cardona, whatever we call him, fan favourite. He's building out. It made him look like a fucking nasty bastard, didn't it? It made him look like, well, that's what we're missing. Like, you don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about all this. You fucking this. You know what I mean? Like, I want what I want, and that's what we're missing.
Definitely. And again, mate, it just feels to me like it is a completely different writing team that writes for these two shows, because that is where we thought Gunther should have been when he, way back when he was on Raw before he even swapped over to SmackDown. But so, that you've hit the nail on the head. They needed to do something, especially after the fact that he's lost a few matches, hasn't he, Gunther? And then he didn't get pinned in that 4-way at SummerSlam, but he also didn't win it. And it felt like he needed something again to make him this kind of real diabolical heel rather than just a heel floating about, sort of pretending to be the general, but never backing it up. So this, again, it was like for doing what he promised.
No,
I'll tell you what I liked. When he first stepped in, when Matt Cardona first stepped in to protect Chelsea, and he basically said, what are you going to do to me? You can't do nothing to me. And he was basically just talking down to him like, well, you can't do nothing. If I want to throw you around, I'm going to throw you around. I love that. I love that bully. You're right. That's the word. He is a bully. And that is what will keep him like that. And you need to keep reminding people that when it comes down to it, he ain't afraid to just choke people out. Just get in that hold and choke them until they pass
exactly
out.
What he did.
And then just dust his hands and off he goes. So, really, really good promo. Now, did that promo open the show?
I believe it did, yeah.
Yeah, so it was quite unusual. I noticed they did that on Raw as well. They both opening promos were women this week, which is quite unusual. But really loved that angle. Again, like later on, but I think their one was probably midway through. The big promo of the show, the big kind of angle was Kevin Owens coming down again to be face to face with CM Punk after they had their sort of war of words the previous week. And they explained that backstory, which I'm pleased about because I wasn't sure whether they were going to go down there, right? Now, I only knew little bits about their backstory. I'd done a little bit of research before the SmackDown because I was just interested after we'd done the podcast last week. I thought, right, I need to look up, like, what is it that Kevin Owens actually does hate about Punk? And the story is that it was all about the fact that Kevin Owens wanted to wrestle in a shirt, right? So Kevin Owens wanted to wrestle in a t-shirt. He didn't want to wrestle in a singlet. The guy who was in charge of Ring of Honor at the time wanted him to lose the t-shirt and he was banging on at him all the time. And then I think Kevin Owens, I can't remember which way round it was. He was either wrestling in a t-shirt and then Punk did this thing on the mic or something before a match and did this thing of like, Kevin Owens, this is God speaking, put on a t-shirt or something like that, or stop wrestling in a t-shirt. And he basically done something to embarrass him in front of a live audience. Kevin Owens just got on with it because he was like more like the kind of the rookie guy. Punk was established. And then the story that I'd heard from a couple of people online was that Kevin Owens just did like a bit of a throwaway comment to Punk, just something as simple as like, "Oh, you happy now?" or something like that. And then Punk apparently just fucking lost his shit in front of the whole locker room.
Yeah, shit.
Fucking screamed at him in front of everyone and literally just basically bullied him in front of all of his peers in front of the locker room. And Owens has never forgiven him for that. He's hung on to that and has never liked him for that reason. Yeah, and it seems like it's genuine.
It does feel genuine. The promo sometimes it goes where is this scripted or not? Because it just feels a lot. It feels very real.
That it was too long a promo for that to be written. And I also think that the way that Kevin Owens delivers it, because he pauses a lot, so you can tell that he's thinking, he's choosing his words very carefully. Yeah. He's really thinking about what he wants to say to Punk. I don't think that's written. I think a lot of it is genuine. And you know what? I think Punk's flustered, mate. There was parts in that where he started to ramble, and I thought, he's fucking got you. You're supposed to be the king on this mic. He says, I am the best on this mic, in this ring, even at commentary. Kevin Owens rattled him big time.
Yeah, I feel it. It was great. But Kevin Owens great on the mic, isn't he? But he's just so believable, isn't he? But you know what it is? He probably is. He just is from the heart. You know what I mean? It's like...
And I mean, there's an interesting thing, right? Right. In terms of wrestling in the past, right? The wrestling that we grew up on, if you called someone a fat ass, right? Or a lard ass or something like that, back then you wouldn't have fucking battered an eyelid, right? Because it just, I mean, look at the fucking stuff that The Rock and Chris Jericho and the comments
It's
to
just,
throw
it's just
to
society
even the
now.
stuff that used to get thrown at Stephanie McMahon. You know what I mean? It was like you could get away with anything. It was about how far could you push? How far could you push?
Well, now like, everyone's offended by everything.
Now,
So it's like,
I think the fact that in this day and age, in 2026, when everything is watered down and everything's a bit snowflakey, the fact that Kevin Owens has drawn him out into basically fat shaming him, I think that shows that Punk was rattled, because Punk has this thing, right? And I've listened to this. Have you ever watched the? After what do they call it? The press conference. You know the one where he just lost his shit.
oh right, he always eating the donuts.
Yeah.
and all
Have
that.
you ever watched?
Yeah.
So a big part of what he was talking about was Hangman Adam Page, when he had a promo with Hangman, when they were doing that angle of him chasing the title. Hangman was a champion, and Hangman was going into business for himself, and he was kind of trying to make Punk look bad. And Punk's big thing was, I'm supposed to be the big baby face here in the company, and you should not be going into business for yourself to make your top baby face look bad in any way, right? You never want to let your baby face look bad. Mate, Punk is the fucking baby face on SmackDown at the moment, and I thought he came out of this looking fucking awful.
Yeah.
Like, so he was rattled. It was not intentional. I don't believe that was someone backstage, unless they're going to do a Punk turn, right? Unless it's in the plan for Punk to do a Punk turn and be that character. I don't think that was what they wanted. I think they'd be disappointed that Punk's come out and took the bait.
Yeah.
It's like you say, because everything's a bit snowflakey now. So, anyone in the audience can say, well, I don't want to see a guy fat shame another guy in front of people.
Yeah.
But, it doesn't, like, I'm old school, mate. Doesn't bother me. I mean,
Yeah, I could give a shit. Yeah, call me what you like. Yeah.
Shit that we throw at each other.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's a different
we
world.
know it's a different world.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it from my corporate head.
Red, yeah.
Steve O'Mac's corporate head, where I'm thinking that CM Punk is a brand, commodity, something that you can sell T-shirts. You don't want your top babyface fat shaming on TV. So because people can make a fucking mountain out of a molehill, can't they, on the internet now? I mean, like the most tiniest little throwaway comment, someone can clip that and fucking it goes viral. And then,
I agree.
The keyboard fucking warriors get on it.
100%, I do agree, yeah.
I just thought it was interesting because I just felt... I felt that's what Kevin Owens was going for, and I thought he executed it, and I thought he fucking hooked him and he reeled him in like he was a big fucking fish.
Yeah. Which don't happen to Punk a lot, does it?
Doesn't happen a lot to Punk. But yeah, I love the realism of what they're doing now, those two. I'm hoping it's going to be a banger of a match. I'd love to see fucking Kevin Owens go over.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know whether it's going to happen, but I'd love to see him go over.
No, I think it'd be good. Be good little title change. I think I know, but then we think that about a lot of things, don't we? We get the predictions wrong, but
yeah. Okay, so the other big talking point with SmackDown, the other big angle is Randy Orton's return, really, on where this goes with Cody. And again, he's another one that we've said this for a while. Have the crowd got bored of Cody Rhodes being do you remember we had that conversation a few months ago about him being like one of the untouchables? Like he's incorruptible. You can't corrupt him. He's the good guy. He won't hit someone with a chair to win a match. He won't low blow to win a match. It felt like we, for the first time, saw this bit of Cody where he looked like he was willing to fucking... He was going to go the distance.
We need a bit age, don't we? We need that Homelander character for Cody coming out, don't we? Where he thinks he's being righteous, but he's really a douchebag, and like he just comes out. Like, that's what we need. We're desperate for a Cody heel turn now, and he's getting a bit stale. The character. We need a new. I think the Street Fighter film is the big thing when they're not at the minute, because it's like, this is a big set. But I think after the Street Fighter film, do it.
This is in my head. This is where I think Cody Rhodes story moved towards. I think he will still be the face in this feud with Randy Orton. I don't think either one of them were happy with the build to WrestleMania or the match itself, right? I think Randy Orton knows that match stunk. I think Randy Orton was injured. I think Randy Orton was limited. I think the two of them owe it to themselves, as long as they don't fucking bring Pat McAfee into it.
Oh, God, no one wants that.
I do not want to see Pat McAfee. The two of them retell this story about the legacy, about the history between the two of them, about the fact that, Orton's a third generation superstar. Cody third generation as well?
No, I don't think so. It's just Dusty.
So, look, again, just tell that story that they should have told in the first place. But I think to get the win, I think Cody does do a chair shot or he does do something to put Randy out.
Yeah.
It could even be a punt to the head. It could even be that he gets presented with this opportunity, and normally Cody would not be the one to do that, but he goes that far and he pulls the trigger, bang, punt to the head, pins Orton. The crowd are like, yeah, but it's a little bit like, and then maybe Cody has a match against another face, and then that's when I see the turn. Once Cody does that on maybe a Finn Balor or something like that. Do you know what I mean? If he puts someone like Finn Balor out with a punt to the head, I think that's how you get the Cody turn. That's what I would do. First of all, pull the trigger on Orton, and then he does it on actually someone that he does like. He does it on a.
I'll rate it, Steve. I'll definitely rate the ideas.
And I think you could get another 2 months out of that. I'd be interested to see where that goes. What I don't want to see is just Cody Rhodes doing the same thing, match against Orton, wins clean, doesn't do anything dastardly, and then it's like you say, it's the fucking hero, is QB1 again.
Which we're all bored of it. We're all bored of it.
Go down a different route.
We're all bored of it.
They've set it up nicely. Dam's good at the minute. I want to see a little bit more from Finn. They keep kind of teasing that Finn's going to get involved in something.
I need to use Finn, I know.
Need to use Finn, as an in-ring.
I need to use him or lose him.
Yeah, because he's going to be the one that gives you your match of the week. He's the one. He's the one really that should be doing the match that steals the show most weeks. Yeah. So, I know what I wanted to ask you, and it's only because I can't remember. Did Trick Williams have a rematch against Baron Corbin?
Yeah,
he did, didn't he? And Corbin,
he lost it both times. Yeah. He got hit with the title.
Because we wasn't sure, was we? No,
he did.
When Trick lost that match at SummerSlam, we said that we thought maybe he could either go on this chase to win back the US title, or we think they elevate him.
That was the week before, wasn't it?
Yeah, they elevate. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
They elevate him up. So I think that would kind of suggest that Trick Williams, the fact that he's had a rematch and he didn't win it, that would suggest to me that they're going to elevate him up. But I don't think he was. I don't remember him being on the show because. I think it was Carmelo Hayes, wasn't it, that had the shot this week?
No, yeah, but then the thing come out, Little Yachty come out, didn't he, and hit him with the K there.
Yeah, that's right.
He come out after the match,
There was a little something at the end.
Yeah, oh, Yachty's back with him now.
Right, okay. Yeah, because we
give him that little, maybe that'll give him that little edge,
Yeah, I don't want to see him caught up in this too much. I don't want to see too many, Trick gets a rematch and Baron Corbin.
He's the best version of Baron Corbin, I'm definitely saying that, because I'm actually, he's believable.
Oh, we said it, didn't we? That he ticks the box of what they need the mid-card heel to be. Just a big dude. He's got to look the part, and he's got to have no fucking entrance music that you can cheer. And they've done the same with Big Bill or Cass. Big Cass. So, he's actually looking the part, isn't he? And
Cass is. He looks.
Yeah.
And I've got to say this. I don't want to sound gay. But you got to call it as is. What a fucking well-built, handsome man. Like, the geezer is just like,
he's got physique.
Jesus Christ. He just looks like he's been chilled out. Oh, no.
He's got a physique.
Fucking look like that. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, I love it. I think there's a lot to come from Big Cass. They seem to be building the hills, don't they? We're talking about Raw.
We got to switch on. There's nothing really else to discuss.
I've got to bring up one thing. I've got to talk about it because I'm excited to talk about it. Rey Mysterio, Chad Gable. What a match. Like, it was just, for me, it was just fantastic. It was like I was like a fucking 12-year-old boy again watching my boy Ray in the ring. Like, he just rolled. It was like, you know, it was like, you know, that geezer has a classic motor, the Rolls Royce. He don't come out a lot. He gives you a little cruise around the seafront. You know what I mean? Like, it was fucking Ray. Just hitting all the bangers. Like that. Oh, it was just fantastic. Ray was just doing it. It was like literally, it was 2003 again. Like, it was just unbelievable. I was just like, you know, it was great. Like, I think Chad was such a great opponent. It put me in mind of a little bit because we compare it when Rey Mysterio had that SummerSlam banger against Kurt Angle, and he kept going back to the ankle lock, and he was doing that, and he was manoeuvring out, and it was fantastic. Yeah. It's a fantastic match, and you've got to go back and watch it properly, Steve, because I know you said
I will. I know I do. Look, mate, I have this love affair with the Intercontinental title, and I know what it comes back to, and I think I've mentioned this before. It comes back to the first year that I really started getting into wrestling, and it was Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect at SummerSlam 91. I still think it's up there in the top 3 Intercontinental title matches that I've ever seen. And ever since then, I've just had this thing with the Intercontinental title. I love the matches.
Chad's the perfect guy's carrier. Yeah. Oh, I fucking love Chad Gable. I just like more. And after this match, it just elevated him because they sort of had this moment afterwards, you'll see it, where they sort of like shook hands and had the big embrace. And it just done wonders, you know, for Chad's character. You know, it's like he's just going places.
I want to watch it.
No, it was great. And I'm even enjoying the theme music now. It's growing on me. I'm enjoying
Chad Gable?
Yeah, I like the fucking.
Cheesy, I think. Look, he's trying to get the clap going. I think it will get there.
I like the purple and gold singlet because the Minnesota Vikings thing. I like it all. I just really like the character. I love that he's doing the ankle lock properly now, and like, you know, he's doing Kurt Angle's moves there. God, if Kurt Angle comes and he's manager, what a way to elevate him. I know we keep saying it.
Yeah.
Then it's just unreal. And the other things happening on Raw. Well, we got to talk about before the big thing, Paul Heyman.
Yeah, so I was going to say...
Paul Heyman was fucking classic balls to the walls Paul Heyman is. I thought he was brilliant. And I thought he was like a fucking boxing promoter, and he sold it. And like, he's so believable when he goes on that rant. And he's just like this dastardly...
Yeah,
you can see it coming. You know he's going to turn on. What have I told you, Bron? You're a fucking main eventer. He's a main eventer. Like, we don't do this on a weekly show for Buffalo, New York. What we do is we do box office. It was fucking fantastic, honestly. It was just Paul Heyman just showing why he's one of the best managers of all time. Bar none. It was great, and it was so good. And I'm really excited for Obafemi and Braun Breaker. You know, there's going to be. I think there's a double turn coming. I think you're turning Obafemi heel with Paul Heyman. I think Braun Breaker drops Braun Breaker, comes back as Braun Steiner like that, and there's a massive face. I think it needs to happen. It's good for both of them.
There was a couple of things that I am going to deep dive into with this, right? A couple of little Easter eggs that were in there. First of all, again, I think Oba just cuts a great promo.
So does Bron, though.
Yeah, he does. But Oba just has this thing. You know what? When we say about like wrestlers, when they shove them down your throat, and some of them sink and some of them swim, right? Oba looks like he was made for this. Right?
Yeah.
It just looks like it comes so fucking natural to him. He doesn't even look like he's trying when he's on the mic. He does. There's not one bit about him that comes across as being insincere or false.
And fuck me, he looks the part.
So, yeah, he just looks the part, and the way that he comes out now, he looks cool, you know, with the big baggy shirts on and stuff.
Yeah,
he's not. And I think what I like about it is that they're not slapping him in a t-shirt straight away. You know, they're not going, all right, here you go, Oba. You've got to wear your fucking Obafemi t-shirt every time that you appear. You know, we've got to sell t-shirts. They're just letting him look the part that he wants to be. Right? All of that stuff can come fucking later down the line. I'll tell you who he reminds me of, right? Probably the last big guy that I can remember that took to it as easy as him was Batista. He's like another Dave Batista. He's got that something about him, like, and again, look, you know, Batista's gone on to do some great movies, right? Because clearly he has a way of presenting himself. I mean, how good is his character in Guardians of the Galaxy?
His Drax is great.
Funniest Marvel character, isn't it? Brilliant. But I think he's the closest thing to Dave Bautista that I've seen. And I tell you, there's a couple of things that Heyman said, right? Number one, when he was doing that sort of boxing promoter thing and he was sort of almost having a dig at Bron, and he said something like, there's at least 2 of us in this ring now that get that. Kind of saying like, well, you don't understand it, Bron, clearly, because you want to get this, but I know that Oba understands that's what's going to happen. So it's kind of almost like Heyman's already made up his mind that he likes Oba. Number one, he knows that he's the real deal because he's beaten Brock. He clearly likes something about the way that Oba presents himself and that he knows that Oba's clever and he's got a brain for the business because he's hinted at it. So that would, you know, but he clearly on the other side keeps hinting to Bron that you are not ready. You're not ready for it. You've got a lot to learn, you know, not just about like to learn stuff in the ring, but you've got a lot to learn about the outside, what goes on, you know, behind the scenes and stuff. You're not ready to be what they keep talking about, what this war is.
Next big thing.
The next big star of
which Paul
Heyman
has
it's about the future, isn't it?
Paul Heyman's always had a way of picking them out, hasn't he? Like, made Brock Lesnar, made Roman Reigns, you know. Yeah,
so look, some of them he's got right and some of them he hasn't, because, you know, he also was with
Ryback.
He was with Ryback.
I see a rumor. Speaking of Ryback, we'll go on a tangent. I see a rumor that Ryback's rumored to be one of the participants in the casino gauntlet thing.
Really?
There's a rumor about it. I don't know.
Ryback.
That would be cool. There's a rumor about it.
I never rated him.
Nah, feed me more thing. Feed me more. Like.
Nah, I'm not having that. I don't think that's a Tony Khan move.
I don't know. I read it. I meant to send it to you. I didn't.
I don't know what he's been doing. What has he been doing, right?
Fuck
he can't be fucking. He ain't no
more.
spring chicken either, is he?
No, he was never great. What was he called when he was in the Nexus?
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, he was. He hurt his arm early on, didn't he?
Yes.
I can't remember his name in it. But yeah, no, I can't see that. But yeah, coming back to what we were saying. So the other thing that I was saying about you know, with Heyman kind of always telling Brock and it feels like he's trying to hold him back though. So, like, I think from from Bron's point of view, whenever you look at Bron, it just feels like he just wants to be let off the leash, right? As much as he respects Heyman and as much as he kind of is half listening to him, you can see he is just desperate to just go, stop fucking holding me down. I just want to go. I just want to be this guy. And that is where I think the double turn comes in, because I think the crowd want Bron to just be the hothead, and Oba. Look, I mean, who knows?
It was that point where Bron said, when it was like, "What are your comments?" And he said, "Oh fuck you, I'll show you." I want to say it to his face, isn't it? Like, it was cool, you know. That's what a face would do, isn't it? It's not, you know, he's. And please, Paul Levesque, Triple H, Trips. Why is he called Bron Breakker? Bronson Steiner's a cool fucking name, without the fact that his dad and uncle are legendary fucking WWE Hall of Famers. Like, what are we talking about? Yeah. Change your name to Bronson Steiner.
But do you know why? Do you know why?
Triple H has beef with Scott, his uncle.
Well, not just that, mate, but you've got to remember that the Steiner brothers didn't really have a WWF legacy.
They're still the fucking Steiner brothers.
I know, but he don't like fucking
big Papa fucking bump and the fucking dog-faced gremlin.
He's got no time for WCW guys. Look how he treated Bill Goldberg. He's got no time for WCW guys. He's got no time for them. Unless you made your name in WF or WWE as a legend within that company, he does not acknowledge you, right?
Shame. I mean, like,
not even AJ Styles.
Even back in the day, you know,
gave them 10 years, right? And look how he went out.
Yeah,
that's something they don't care unless you're a WWE guy through and through. They don't give a fuck.
Sure.
They're not interested in letting you have, and they certainly ain't going to let you put over the Steiner brothers.
No.
I agree with you. I think that should be where we go with it.
It's cool. It's a cool name in itself, but it's the legacy. Right, well, let's move on anyway. I mean, that end bit with it was like a fucking mafia, wasn't it? It was like, I don't know, it's gone from like the Samoan like thing to like, it's like fucking Italian mafia, wasn't it? It was like, he was Tony Soprano. These are my my captains are my capos, isn't it? It's like fucking, he was Tony Soprano and you have Paulie Walnuts and Silvio, you know what I mean? That's what it felt like to me, you know what I mean? Like,
I think, like without that end promo, all in all, I don't think it was a great Raw, because there was, I think, you know, they had a few of the matches, didn't they? A few of those kind of the luchador matches for this.
one thing I've got
for this tournament that is like
one thing I've got to
TV
say, that
deal.
fucking character where he looked like a Power Ranger. Like, you know what? I felt like I'd had a few gin and tonics last night. I felt like I was in a time machine. I was watching 80s wrestling. Like, I was like, what the fuck am I watching? What he was wearing, it was like fucking, I thought Theo Hopper. I thought Theo Hopper and the Mountie would have come out next. You know what I mean? I thought like Doink the Clown was coming out. I thought, what is this character? I was like, this is fucking like the 80s. Like,
If you
sorry, Steve-O. I've got to get this out, Steve-O, because I've just remembered.
I bet you was a Power Ranger boy,
Of course I was. A fucking hell.
Yeah.
Who didn't like the Green Ranger when he fucking summoned the Dragon Sword? I mean, it was like the fucking coolest thing ever. I still watch the YouTube clips of it sometimes. It's amazing. Like that. Dude, it's fucking fantastic. But he comes out looking like a fucking Power Ranger. Not even a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, like a dodgy Power Ranger. You'd get like, like those figures you might get a Pixie Mark your arm from. You know, it's like a dodgy fucking Power Ranger coming out. And he had a dodgy fucking 80s fucking theme song. And he had a dodgy fucking 80s fucking Titantron fucking. It was just like, I was thinking, oh, Theo Hopper's coming on next. You know what I mean? Fucking, I thought, I just didn't know what was happening. Isaac Yankum. I thought Isaac Yankum was coming out after. I didn't know. It was just like, what am I watching here?
Time Machine.
What was I watching? It was a trip. I'll tell you.
I don't know if you get a chance to watch just the video package before that match, right? I can't remember what the guy's name was. He fought Ray Phoenix, didn't he? It was the guy that was fighting Ray.
Ray was great. Look, Ray's great.
Yeah, he is brilliant. Anyway. Now, when they were kind of trying to introduce this guy and tell you what he was about, one of the outfits that he was wearing that must have been from AAA, mate, he looked like Judge Dredd.
I am the law.
Mate, and I looked at it and I was like, that's a cool wrestling outfit. He looked like he had a luchador Judge Dredd outfit. I thought, yeah, I hope he's wearing that. And then when I saw the Black Power Ranger, I was a bit like, that's a step down, that is.
Fucking it was just like, I don't know what I was watching. I couldn't believe WWE let it happen. I couldn't believe like they had like gone through with it. I don't know. It was just a bit mad. It weren't a WWE thing for me. I was just like, how's this gone?
No one's got the rights to put. I mean, the Power Rangers.
No, what I mean is, I'm surprised like Triple H was like, yeah, let's do this. Like, it just felt weird. Like, it was just like, what are we watching here? It made no fuck. I know they're trying to do this thing with all the fucking Mexican wrestlers there. It feels like, to me, AEW have got a lot of the good Mexican wrestlers. They're scraping the bottom of the barrel a little bit. I'm sorry to them guys. It just what it felt like. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know.
It's going to be. I think it'll be Ray Phoenix versus Penta in
the brothers against each other. That'd be great.
I think that's where that will go.
But anyway, on the tangent, where we go?
Yeah. So I was saying, like, so apart from that, I wouldn't say it was an incredible episode of Raw. There was
one thing you got to say.
There was a couple of really good promos. The matches were okay, but because we didn't know who a lot of those luchadors were, it was hard to really get on board with it. I can't comment on the Chad Gable Ray match, but you said it was a banger, so I'll take your word for that.
One thing I've got to say,
they had to deliver on this end promo, is all I'm going to say. They had to to save this from being another bit of a low-key episode.
One thing I've got to say, it may not go, but how fucking over, and it's come from nowhere, is Solo Sikoa. He has come from nowhere. Like, you know, he's been about for fucking years, but he's never really, like, you know, interacted. All of a sudden, he's done this pew pew thing and the pew pew thing. Yeah. I mean, because he's got in the heads of like people ask when we're sick of the eating. He's so over, and he's come out of fucking nowhere. I could not believe the crowd reaction for him, and even like that bit where he's Samoan Spike fucking Roman, it was just cool as fuck. Like, LA Knights. Elevated LA Knight, like, you know, I'm hopeful for shit to go on.
Take a step back, Deano. Take a step back. Let's talk about it bit by bit.
I'm getting excited.
You're running too far ahead.
I get excited. No.
So on this point of him being over, he's done it in two ways. Basically, I think we have just let him bring his character out, because apparently he is genuinely a funny guy. Behind the scenes, he is one of those guys that he's the Joker, right? And so he sort of seemed like he was playing the exact polar opposite of that, wasn't he? When he first came into it, it's all serious, and he's like trying to be this badass Samoan. And did he ever really sell that to you? I mean, if you've got a guy trying to be a badass, but he's got a fucking bleach blonde streak.
Yeah.
Does that ever cool, really work for the likes of you or I? He looks cool, but did he ever look badass?
No, not really. Not like fucking, what's his name? Fatu, Jacob Fatu. He looks like a badass.
Yeah, but he ain't got a fucking blonde streak, has he? But so what I'm saying is that the image that he had didn't really go with the character that they were trying to sell. So it's like, now they've kind of gone, right, go and entertain. Go and be an entertainer. Get yourself over that way. And you are exactly right, mate. It's the shit that he's been doing with Jey Uso. There was this bit, I think I forgot to mention this last week. You know the bit when Jey Uso said to him about, like, your warning shot, this is your warning shot. And there was this really funny bit where he ducked down. Like he ducked down to avoid it. And then he kind of checked behind him and he said to the crowd, is everyone okay? Yeah. And it's just that the timing of it.
Do you know what's funny? The fact that he is his little brother, and you can imagine he's just that little brother just mugging off his big brother, like, you know what I mean? It's great.
So look, I mean, is this going to be? Is this them taking the steps for Jey Uso to come away from the yeeting?
I fucking hope so. Because they made it look silly.
Because Solo can be the one that spins that around, because he's making it now look like a lame thing. So now, if he's over as a babyface, and the message the babyface is telling the crowd is it's lame to yeet, then they're going to fucking stop yeeting, right? Because that's what a wrestling crowd should do. You react to what your babyfaces are doing, and you get on board with that. So I like what they're doing with him. I like the presentation of the whole, like, he's being delivered. Fucking Jey Uso, he's walking around with, like, he's like a fucking dog with two dicks, isn't he? For most of the show, he's all pleased with himself. Look, I've got Solo. I'm gonna deliver him to Roman. He's all like getting Jacob's face. Yeah, because what is it that Jacob calls him? He calls him, what is it he says to him? Punk ass. He calls him. He's like, oh, who's punk ass now, Jacob? I'm delivering Solo to Roman. He's all happy. And then, like, they set this thing up, don't they? And Roman rewards them of, like, these are my captains, and he gives them the two necklaces. Yeah. Now, did you clock Jacob's reaction?
Yeah, I did. He did not like it, did he?
How fucking good did he sell that?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Proper, like, he looked away. At one point, he faced the other way. He went to the corner. You could tell, like, he was boiling. It was bubbling up. He was getting ready to... Because, again, he still is this... What is that phrase that he has?
All breaks, no gas.
All breaks, no gas. So he's still
no breaks, all gas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's still showing people that is what he is. Although Roman's got this hold over him, deep down, that is what he is.
Yeah.
And that's what he still wants to be.
And I think it's different, because I think this what we're doing is, like, Jacob's sort of, like, doing it out of duty. Like, he's like an employee of Roman. And Jimmy and Jey love Roman. They want his affection. Yeah. It's like, it's about fucking, like, we love Roman. Yeah. But Jacob's like, just got to do what I got to do. It's my job. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like. And it's all going to come to an end. And you know what? The reference I did, when he told him to stand the collar, he stood there and watched it, didn't he? It was like, you ever see that film Jet Li Unleashed, where he don't take the dog collar on, and, like, he won't attack unless, like, the fucking collar's off him and that, like that. That's what it felt like, like, but they're making him look like a proper psychopath, where he's just like, he just has to be told what to do because he's just unhinged, like,
yeah. I think you're right. But I think part of him is kind of like, well, I'm here because Roman's told me to be here. But there is still this little part where I still think he feels like Roman's getting what he deserves. And I still feel he thinks he is more dangerous than Roman. I still feel that's where the story's going to go eventually, is that Jacob eventually just thinks, I know that I can beat Roman. He might have beat me once in that match, but I know that ultimately
it's coming, isn't it? It's definitely coming.
You know, I am the bigger character than him.
I'm excited to see. I'm excited. I weren't sure about the Bloodline people. It's quite good how they've done it now. LA Knight's looking like a megastar as well, isn't he? Another thing.
Again,
he just looks like a megastar.
As soon as his music drops,
the fuck as well.
Fucking mental. So the U-turn that they've done on him has been great.
Yeah,
and I liked how this had different elements make this angle where you didn't really know what was going to happen.
No, it was great. I really enjoyed it. I was excited to see what happened.
Because we said, didn't we, last week, that knowing that you got a Survivor Series coming up or War Games, and it tends to always be a 5v5, doesn't it? So it's kind of like, is this the opportunity to get Solo to join the Bloodline, and then it's the ultimate Bloodline, and then it's up to LA Knight to rally the troops together, you know, to go up against them. But I genuinely didn't know whether at that point, when Roman said to him, right, and what I liked about it is he said to him, you brought him into this, right? He's your problem. I shouldn't have to deal with this guy because you fucking brought him in, LA Knight. So you're going to deal with the problem. And I did wonder whether he was going to follow instructions. And I actually thought that the way that he did the Samoan spike, I thought was really well. It was like really well shot and really well timed. You know, they didn't kind of make it too obvious because he kind of came out and he looked like he was going for LA and he just followed through, didn't he? Sort of just went right across, followed through. I thought that bit was great, but the bit that I really liked was when he did the warning shot.
Yeah.
That bit just looked fucking cool.
Hey, that was great.
It had a bit of Bandido about it, didn't it? Bandido and a bit of Kenny Omega about it. Yeah. But it looked good. I thought if you're ever going to use that's how it should be done. Jay's one is just fucking pathetic, isn't it? And again, they're just making
him look like a right loser. He's a fucking
They're making him look like a right loser.
Exactly.
But they make him win too much. Fucking lose.
Hey,
he needs to lose some more matches.
It's a TikTok, isn't it? Like,
I know. But yeah, look, good ending. And again, Jacob could have stepped in. Roman wasn't left standing tall. It was LA Knight and Solo that were left standing tall. Roman was on the floor at the end. Jacob was still standing there. He could have stepped in and helped Roman. He decided to use that order against him. You know, Roman's ordered him to stay in the corner. And he's used Roman's authority, that grip hold that he's got over Jacob. He actually used it against Roman. And that's what I really liked about it. It was the best Bloodline angle that I've seen for a while.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, look,
I think that's it.
I think the storylines are good. I still think that they can do a little bit more with getting big stars actually having matches as well. I still think you need to have some big matches still, and there's no reason why, you know, we can't get a few more sort of some of them tag matches going on and that. But overall, yeah, the storylines are going in the right direction. Wrestling is good at the moment.
And we're happy.
Wrestling is good, and it can only get better over this next 2 weeks. Because what a fucking week it's going to be.
There you are.
What a week it's going to be. Glasgow, come back, couple of days rest, then Wembley. And I just hope, mate, I hope that at the end of it, I hope we get what we want. I don't want to be walking down. I still call it Wembley Way. I know they changed it, didn't they?
Cow thing,
I call it Wembley Way. I don't want to be queuing up for that tube, walking down Wembley Way, being disappointed.
No.
Right?
I want to be going off, bro.
Singing. I want to be singing on the tube. I can't wait for it.
Me too.
But look, you know, we've got to get. I don't know what we're going to have to do the podcast next week. We'll probably have to do it. We'll probably have to do it Tuesday again, mate, because we leave on Wednesday. So we'll have to try and put it out. I don't know how I'm going to get it edited, but I'll have to do an all-nighter. I'll have to put a shift in just for you people to make sure.
I hope you appreciate it. Maybe give a like and subscribe.
I'll have to put in an all-nighter to get it out there. Okay. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for listening. Please hit that subscribe button. Please give us a like. Please make sure, if you need to download it on Spotify, Amazon, Audible. What's the other one? Spotify, Amazon, Audible, Apple. Please make sure you download the podcast on there if you'd rather listen to it, and join us again next week. And remember, nobody talks smack like Deano and Steve O'Mac.
And that's the truth, baby. Have a good one, guys. See you next week.